George Washington, born on February 22, 1732 in Westmoreland County, Virginia, emerged as a central figure in the founding of the United States. His journey from a young surveyor to the nation's first president is marked by military leadership, political acumen, and a steadfast commitment to Republican ideals. Born to Augustine and Mary Ball Washington, George spent his early years on the family estate along the Potomac River. After his father's death in 1743, he lived with his half-brother Lawrence at Mount Vernon. Under Lawrence's mentorship, George received a practical education, focusing on mathematics and surveying. At 17, he was appointed the official surveyor of Culpeper County, Virginia, a role that honed his skills and introduced him to the Virginia frontier. In 1753, the governor of Virginia, Robert Dinwiddie, tasked Washington with delivering a message to the French, demanding they vacate the Ohio Valley. This mission marked his entry into military affairs. The following year, as a lieutenant colonel, he led a small force against the French at Fort Duquesne, an encounter that ignited the French and Indian War. Despite initial setbacks, including a defeat at Fort Necessity, Washington's leadership during the war earned him recognition and experience. After the war, Washington married Martha Custis, a wealthy widow, in 1759 and focused on managing Mount Vernon. He became a prominent figure in Virginia's political scene, serving in the House of Burgesses. As tensions with Britain escalated over issues like the Stamp Act and the Intolerable Acts, Washington emerged as a strong advocate for colonial rights. In 1774, he was selected as a delegate to the First Continental Congress. With the outbreak of the Revolutionary War in 1775, Washington was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. His leadership was instrumental in sustaining the colonial forces through hardships, culminating in the decisive victory at Yorktown in 1781. After the war, Washington's commitment to republicanism was evident when he resigned his commission, returning to private life, a move that astonished the world and reinforced his dedication to democratic principles. In 1787, Washington presided over the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia, where his support was crucial in the drafting and ratification of the U.S. Constitution. Recognizing his leadership, the Electoral College unanimously elected him as the nation's first president in 1789, and he was re-elected unanimously in 1792. Washington's presidency set numerous precedents. He formed the first cabinet, appointing Thomas Jefferson as Secretary of State and Alexander Hamilton as Secretary of the Treasury. This assembly of diverse talents helped shape the executive branch's functions and responsibilities. Under Washington's administration, Hamilton introduced financial policies to stabilize the nation's economy. These included the federal assumption of state debts, the establishment of a national bank, and the implementation of excise taxes. While these measures laid the foundation for American capitalism, they also sparked debates over federal versus state authority. Navigating foreign relations was a delicate task. The French Revolution and ensuing European conflicts pressured the U.S. to choose sides. Washington issued the Proclamation of Neutrality in 1793, asserting the nation's independence in foreign policy and avoiding entanglement in European wars. Domestically, Washington faced challenges such as the Whiskey Rebellion in 1794, where farmers protested against excise taxes on distilled spirits. Washington's decisive action in deploying militia forces to quell the rebellion demonstrated the federal government's authority to enforce laws, reinforcing the rule of law. Declining a third term, Washington set a precedent for the peaceful transfer of power. His farewell address in 1796 warned against political parties and foreign alliances, emphasizing national unity and the dangers of sectionalism. Washington's leadership established a framework for the federal government and set enduring precedents. His commitment to Republican values and voluntary relinquishment of power solidified his legacy as the father of his country. He passed away on December 14, 1799 at Mount Vernon, leaving a lasting imprint on the nation's character and governance.